Hey, I'm Scottie, and in this tutorial we're going to be sketching this scene from Venice step by step using ink and watercolor. Now the main focus is on this figure at the front, so let's place him first. So I'm looking at the main shapes of the t-shirt, the pants and the gondola. If I go to halfway between these 2 points there, but then go a little bit higher than halfway, so I'll put a dot there, and that's where his shoulders are. So I'm just trying to divide up this easily for us to see. So this area here is his t-shirt up there, so his head goes a little bit higher, and his head, it looks like that's about half of the t-shirt, approximately half, so just go up like that. So let's draw his head first. We'll start with the outline of the hat. So outline the head, so it comes down at that, so that's about the width of the head there, so we come out that distance but down at an angle. So one there, dot there, and then a dot here, same width as the head, but then have that angle between the shoulders there. So let's outline the shoulders, just get that shape. It goes in and out again, and here it sort of goes in and then out again to the hips. Now we're coming down to the legs, and we add a bit of a taper from the waist down this way. So just like that, comes there. So there's those 3 equal spaces, 1, 2, 3. Should have enough room for the gondola there now. So now we draw the elbow, so it comes down about almost 2/3 of the t-shirt there and across. Put a dot there. Let's draw that outline. It comes just the elbow there, and back this way, and then in there to the elbow, and back towards the shoulder. And then the elbow should be almost the same, the other on the other side. So come like this, and then angle back in towards the hips. So there we have these main shapes, and then the ribbons, really nice red ribbons. We can make those really red later. And now we'll do the gondola. So the tip of the gondola comes up near to his elbow there, can you see that? And then it comes right down at a nice angle, down to about there. So we've got to leave a gap for the water there as well. Now join those 2 lines up. Now put a point just below here, and we can see that near his wrist, about there, that's where that line, the arc, comes to. So let's join that point just below his legs to the arc, to that point. And then come across this way to the other side, so coming perpendicular to this line, and then we'll do the same. Try and mirror this line. And we have the back of the boat there like this. You can see it through there. It doesn't matter if it goes through the oar too much. Then we want it to sit in the water. So it'd come this way and then down. You can see there's a lot more height here than on this side. It's all very close to the water there. Like that. And it's a little bit more curved on this side and comes over here. And this way. Then you have the oar coming down here. So you imagine his hand is there and it comes down. And a little dot there just above the line here at the bottom. Come across. And leave a gap there. Keep it going. And then we have this arm comes out like this that holds the oar. Okay, then we've got our figure right in the middle, and that makes it easier for the rest of the sketch to draw the bridge, so we're not going into where the figure would be. But let's first draw the next closest thing, which is this building here. So it's about halfway from this fella here, this man. So about there. And we come down to where his knees are. So that's where the top of the stairs are. So that distance, I go up to the top here and do that. Same distance, and now I can come down following those dots. You can put several dots if you want. And just a loose line with lots of character, imagining different things sticking out from the wall. A silhouette of the stairs. Angle that line. So the vanishing point on this sketch is just there. That's where all the lines on the building come to a point just about there. So put a dot there, and that's where all the details on this building go to. And I'm looking at that point, and then just... And then we have that down pipe that comes down here. So I have to make that a little bit skinnier. And I might not be able to fit both of those down pipes in. If I say a window's here, the first window, the second window would be in line with that to here. So that, like that. And the tops of the windows, if I say that first one goes to here, then I join those 2 up, and the second one would be right up there. So let's just draw those 2 windows. Wobbly, loose windows, just pop 2 in there like that. Now we can go onto the bridge. So about where the crotch is, that's where the bridge cuts this person, where it ends. Comes off the page there. And then how high is that arc? So the arc comes up to about there, just on his sleeve, doesn't it? And if you get the curve wrong, just go over it again. You might just do a double line. It's totally fine to do 2 lines. Now how tall that goes about to his neck. So put a dot there, come across, and then this section comes down, angles down. And whatever angle you did that, try and make it the similar angle there. That would be just higher than his head there, wouldn't it? So those 2 points, just above those 2 points. Railing. And then the same height this way. Now just to simplify this, we're just going to add straight lines like this. So we're not going to go too crazy on this railing. The white section of the bridge here like that. And then in the next section goes up, and then we have these little squares. I like those. Let's draw the lady here on the bridge. So from her feet would be at the top of the bridge there, and then about double from the railing up. So there. And I've just placed her where I think it looks nice. And then what we do is that's about the height of the figure. Come down a little bit for the head. So now let's outline the head first. So we're going to put that shape of the top of her head like this. Just like a circle like that, and then a little chin comes at that, and then the top of the face, and leave a bit of the hair so you can see the hair on top. So then the next shape is to do is the shoulders, so come out a little bit for the shoulders, and then we go down to the arm. So the arm is typically 1.5 head lengths. So if that's the head length there, so go 1 and a bit, should just go 1 and a bit of those head lengths. So it's just there, and come back in. Now ignore that arm on the outside, and let's draw the figure coming down, comes in a little bit and then out like that. So same on this side, in and then out. Taper down to the legs here, and then on the bottom we put the feet, and I just do little triangles really. Now let's draw the other arm, and it comes pretty much straight down across there. So come across this way, breaking up that shape, and there's the bag there. So between the hairline and the chin, we go down about 1/3, and we just draw a line for the eyebrow and then a little dent underneath, like that, just to show that there's an eyebrow and an eye there. And at this size, that's all I'm going to attempt to do. Okay, now we've done that figure, we can add in this back building here. So it is about 2/3 across towards the lady, and it comes down, and it ends just after that tip of the gondola. So let's go down, and then once again we can aim towards that point, and then there's this boat here, so that will cut through, sketch and add a few nice details. Now there's another boat right here, you can see the top of that boat. If we come a little bit across there and add a line there, because that's the shadow of that building. So I love this light here. There's our vanishing point, so I can add that roof line aiming towards that vanishing point roughly. And no detail in these buildings at the back. If I was to add all that detail, it'd take a long time. So I think just a nice light wash there will do. Okay, now for watercolor, I have my round 10, and we'll start off with this background back here. So we want really, really light colors, cerulean blue, and then we come diagonally across like that, an angle, yellow ochre, and coming down. And the next building, it has a very light grey, so let's go Payne's grey. So behind this lady, and I'm being careful not to touch the other colours too much. Cadmium yellow, it's in cadmium red, starts about there, and comes down. It's a bit darker as it gets down low. Yellow ochre, and just make this a very thin building. So you get your rose, and drag that down. But let's keep moving, making our way around. So this building here is a nice pink. Actually has a little bit of yellow in it, so it has a peachy look. So cadmium yellow, and just swiping down. And over this side we have an orange, so go back to that red, so cadmium red, cadmium yellow. The downpipe as best I can, it just stops there. Our boat has an orange section here, on this seat here too. And we'll do the skin tone. So this is burnt sienna. Let's do this now. Well, there's not too much colours around to mix into the skin. So go down in there. And there's little bits of yellow showing, so I'm going to use that yellow ochre just to shine. So down here we've got Payne's Grey to these stairs. And we'll do this gondola here, so make sure that paint's dry. Back section of the boat there. Payne's Grey. And start at the top. Yellow ochre. And add the hair. It'll be the same colour. And the stripes on the t-shirt, so that's ultramarine. Nice and close, but then nice thick lines as well. And we don't have to do the sleeves just yet. Then in the background, we have a few details here just to do because it's dry. We can go back there. And a very watered down ultramarine can be good for those windows. Just want to have an impression of the windows behind this lady. Put something here. So if you see little details that stand out, it's contrast. Burnt sienna. And that can be the roof. Yeah, and then it stretches across. And then we're implying that background, the ribbon. So I've got cadmium red, quite saturated. Oh, it's nice red, yeah. So now let's move on to the water. Fruiting green. And so I'm going to exaggerate this slightly, this green here. Top here. And as we go down, I've got turquoise. So we'll pull that down there so that it blends in. So add in a little bit of up there. And you can see it's a broken shadow. It's got lines that have little gaps in them. You can see them off all the reflection of the dark things. Now shadows, ultramarine and rose. Just put a simple shadow there. And it continues around in places like underneath the bridge, and the backs of these boats. Just add a little bit on here. Just do it in the middle. It'll make the light look like it's coming around the edge of the body there. And then even on this person here, there's a little shadow right in the middle. The last thing we need to do is add some highlights, and that will help with the water as well down here. And then either side of the shadow we need some reflection. So I'm using the side of my Posca pen. It's got a nice thick nib here, so I can add in those nice white sections with little dots. So here it's not so thick, this is just using the end of my pen. And then around the person, so we want to have a bit of highlight on the top. Highlights in there. So there's my final sketch. I really enjoyed doing that, having the light background, the figures standing out and contrasted the front here. And if you want the full version without all the cuts, you can head over to my Patreon page, and I've got the full version there with the reference, plus a whole lot more fundamental tutorials. And we've got a really nice community where you can post your sketch, and you can ask me any question you like there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.